Good morning, everyone. I'm just a couple minutes early so that Connor and I can figure out how to get the tech working. Anyway, hey, happy April Fool's Day. Hopefully nobody has played any pranks on you because that'd just be kind of mean right now. Anyway, so one time Connor thought that it would be a cute idea to put lifesavers in the shower head.
Yeah.
Yeah, he broke the shower head. It was not a good prank.
Because they weren't April Fools. They weren't lifesavers. I had to cut like circular hard candies in half.
Oh.
That's why.
I see. And you were how old when you were cutting hard candies in half with a sharp knife?
I don't know.
What other things have you tried to?
I laid out some of your packing bubble wrap in front of your door.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that didn't go over well either.
I don't like pranks. Okay, so are you able to see the video yet?
Yes, I am. And the comments. And so.
Okay, good. So how this is working is Connor is looking at my laptop and he will let me know when you ask a question. So please feel free to just type them in and I will answer them as I can. So today we are making Chinese food cupcakes. All right. I found this project in this book. It's called What's New Cupcake. I know you saw that in reverse. I don't know how to switch that so you see it right. But anyway, it's What's New Cupcake by Karen Tack and Alan Richardson. I love their books. They're full of all of these great, really fun cupcake projects and cake projects, and they're just really cute. The ones we are making are the Chinese takeout. Here we go. So, a few of you actually ordered DIY kits from me, and I'm so glad that you did and that you were able to pick them up last night. With that, you got a piece of paper, yours was not highlighted, telling you what's in your bag and what you need. But I'll go through this real quick for those watching. All of you who are watching, I highly recommend watch me first, okay? And then go and try and do your own cupcakes, and then that way you can refer back to the video as needed, and even though the live will be done, you will still be able to ask questions and stuff like that, and you can always message me, right? So if you run into a problem while you're making your own, yeah, just I can still help you, okay? Alrighty, so we needed 12 vanilla cupcakes, whatever flavor you want. 8 green fruit chews, the Tootsie Roll types. Here, I'm gonna unload the bag as I do this so that you guys know what I'm talking about in the bag. Okay, so these are the green fruit chews. You'll have 8 of them in your kit if you ordered from me. Okay. And then the pink ones, you should have 3. Orange ones, you'll have 4. Hi, Missy. And you'll have 3 yellow ones. Okay, where I got these at Woodman's. They're the Eileen's candies, and you know, so they're in the bin, so you can dig through and pick out exactly the colors you need. All right. The other thing that you could use is Laffy Taffy. Hello, Lisa. I will say hello to the names that I see pop up. If I don't see or say your name, it's because I didn't see your name, and I apologize for that. But I am so grateful for all 7 of you who are watching right now. So, okay, so like I was saying, I got these at Woodman's. I hand-picked them out so I could get exactly the colors I wanted. Laffy Taffy would work. You could even do this with fondant and color the fondant, stuff like that, okay? Oh, I guess Jolly Rancher also makes a chewy candy. Okay, the other thing, you have small light green jelly beans. These are not the ideal color. They're supposed to look like peas, but this is the best that I could find, okay? You have frosting in your bag. the food coloring is already in your frosting cups, so you just need to mix it up, and that's what the stir sticks are for that are in your baggie. Then we have these little green sprinkles. These are going to be our broccoli florets. You have 3 strands of green licorice. You guys that got the kit, this is actually their apple flavor, sour apple, I don't know, something like that. Again, they aren't the ideal color. Once they're sliced up, they're supposed to look like celery slices. The ones that I wanted was the Twizzlers Rainbow Twists, but I couldn't find them. So, and what is this? We have like a cup and a half of Rice Krispie treats. Sorry about that. Okay. So here we go. Other things that you need to do this project. Medium-sized bowl, microwave safe plate, a small cutting board, a small knife, a cookie sheet, and wax paper. I am actually using one of my Silpats in place of the wax paper. If you don't have wax paper, I think parchment paper will work. Alrighty. So, please comment, ask questions, stuff like that. Also, let me know if you can't see what I'm doing. I think I am going to change the camera angle so that you are more seeing what I'm doing and less of this, okay? Which means, Connor, I'm highly relying on you now because I won't hardly be able to see the screen at all.
Okay.
All right, gang, how's that? Look good? And can somebody tell me that you can hear me? Okay. Here we go. So these green ones are going to become broccoli stems, so we need to unwrap those. I am not positive how long this is going to take this morning. When I teach this live, like hands-on, what is that about the meatloaf?
She said, I remember when you made the meatloaf and mashed potato when working at JCP.
Yes, that was awesome. So guys, what I did that year was I made a meatloaf out of Rice Krispie treats, out of the Cocoa Krispies. And then I made cupcakes that were actually made, they look like cupcakes, but they were actually made out of meatloaf. And I dyed mashed potatoes pink and piped them on top of the cupcake. So, and one of my coworkers did not read the sign before biting into his cupcake and was not too pleased. Okay, anyway, like I was saying before, is when we, when I teach this hands-on, it usually takes an hour and a half. I don't, I'm assuming it'll take a little less time this way. So, okay, so with your green fruit chews, you want to slit them like this, okay? Because you're making the broccoli stem. So be careful. It's kind of hard to cut these. They're stiff. Kids, maybe let your parents do it. Unless, you know, your parents can't be trusted with a knife, then maybe you should do it, so. All right. See, and then your knife gets gummed up from the fruit chews and it starts to get more difficult. You smell good. I have a terrible sweet tooth, in case you didn't know. All right, and so now I am just gonna kind of squish them and shape them a little bit to get rid of that hard edge. Remember, let me know if I've gone off camera. Somebody yell at me. Connor, you too.
You're still good.
Okay. All right. Okay, the next thing that you need to do is, all right, you're gonna microwave the pink fruit chews. Not for very long, okay? That's orange. I'm trying to read while I talk here. So it's only for like 2 to 3 seconds, guys. Really be careful. When I am microwaving things to soften them, I always wear my gloves, because that way if I take it out and I squish it and it's too hot, it's not sticking to my skin. It's sticking to the glove and I can just rip that glove right off. Okay, be right back. Okay, so in total, that took 12 seconds, but I did 3 seconds at a time. I did 3 seconds, I smushed, I did another 3 seconds, I smushed, and so on and so forth, okay? All right. This, we are going to flatten out. This is where your wax paper comes in handy, okay? Remember that this soap pat is my wax paper substitute. And you just need to flatten it out. All right, I'm gonna grab a paper towel to wipe this off. Okay. Do not cut on your cookie sheet or your silk hat. Move over to the cutting board. And we need to cut this into 1/8-inch strips. If you have a pair of kitchen shears, you can cut this, all right? My kitchen shears are washed after every use, all right? So I have no qualms about using them to cut my food. You can use regular scissors for this. Just please wash them first and then make sure to wash them afterwards. So what these are supposed to look like are pork slivers, like you would find in pork lo mein. Okay, and then we're going to cut those into smaller chunks. So I have another funny April Fool's story for you. My husband actually proposed on April Fool's Day. So He didn't mean to. He meant to propose on March 31st because it was the night of a blue moon. But it was technically after midnight when he did propose. So that's just my personal little funny, because you know what? The joke's on him. He's stuck with me. So, yep. Let's see. All right. Almost done here. As you guys know, normally when I post a video, like it's pre-recorded and I would speed up through all this stuff so you didn't have to sit and watch me do the boring parts. But if you were taking a hands-on class, you would be sitting here doing this with me. So we're going to do it this way this time. Cut these last few. Okay. I'm just going to set that aside for a minute. Okay, take out your frosting cups. You have one labeled broccoli, one labeled noodles, and one labeled fried rice. What we want to do right now is stir all these up. Okay? That green is your food coloring, okay? There's nothing wrong with your frosting. I just did all this yesterday. One of you got the kit that was already partially mixed up because I was making sure that I had the right amount of color in them. Let's just go ahead and mix up all three of them right now. There goes so the brown that is in there is cocoa powder. And then there is a spot of yellow food coloring. So those of you who don't have kits and are wondering what's happening here, I'm just going to read you the instructions out of the book, okay? It says, tint half a cup of vanilla frosting, bright green with green food coloring. All right, which we did. This one, we are using, how much? Hold on a sec. 1 cup of frosting with 1 teaspoon of unsweetened cocoa powder and 1 drop of yellow food coloring. Helpful to have a paper towel handy. Okay, and then this one was 1.25 cups of frosting and 1/4 teaspoon of cocoa powder. If you don't like cocoa, you know, or you're allergic to chocolate, you could use brown food coloring for this. Or if you made your cupcakes a flavor that doesn't go well with chocolate, but I can't really think of one that doesn't go well with chocolate. Can you, Connor?
Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew cupcakes you made.
Oh, the Mountain Dew cupcakes. Yeah, those probably would not go well with chocolate.
Otherwise, no. I think you're right.
Did you guys know you can do that? You, like, just take a box mix and replace all the liquid in it with your favorite soda and bake it. And they're yummy. Okay, there we go. All right, the other thing I'm going to grab is a glass to put my piping bags into. Okay, where are my piping bags? Right here. Okay, so to fill your piping bag, you want to put your thumbs down inside your piping bag and then roll it down like that so that you get this nice big cuff. See what I mean? And we put that in there with the cuff over the top of the glass. Scrape that out into your piping bag. Guys that got kits from me, please save the plastic containers, okay, and bring them back to me. If you bring them back to me, I will give you a $5 gift certificate. $5 gift certificate or 2 cake pops, your choice. But I really, really want these plastic containers back so that I can use them for upcoming classes. Okay, I also put in your baggie 2 twist ties. So, you're gonna shoot that down in there. Use your fingers and squeegee it down. Okay. So twist the top and put your twist tie around the top. Okay? That way, if you have your kiddos helping you and they squeeze in the middle of the bag, it'll help keep it from popping out the top. If they're really motivated though, they may still be able to squeeze the frosting out the top. Okay, we need to do this with the noodle coloring too. The noodle frosting. You could also use rubber bands to tie off your bag. Or if you have the bag ties that you've seen me use in other videos, obviously those work too. All right, the other color of frosting does not go into a piping bag. That's why you only have 2 piping bags. Where's my other twist tie? There it is. All right. So, here's what happens next. What happens next? Okay, so we did our tinting. Turn the page. Okay, this little thing of green sprinkles, you should be able to just use them right in there. Okay, take your piping bag. And you're going to clip off just a little bit on the end, okay, to about there. Now, take one of your broccoli stems and just pipe gobs of frosting on there. And then you take this and pat it in the sprinkles so you have broccoli. Connor's impressed. Thanks, hon.
What do you do if like one of the clumps of frosting comes off in the sprinkles?
So Connor wants to know what you do if one of the clumps of frosting comes off in the sprinkles. Well, you stop and you get a little spoon or a knife and you fish it out and you try again. So, hi Aiden.
Hi.
Are you done with school?
Yeah.
Yeah? Cool. Do you want to help?
It was.
If you're using a store-bought icing and it's not thick enough to hold like this, just mix in some powdered sugar with it. Oh dear. Sorry about that. Okay. So I pipe them. If you made homemade buttercream, it needs to be a thick consistency to do this. See?
They like transformer eyes.
Where did you find those?
They're from the one that, well, they're in my drawer, but they're, when I went to, it was like a train park or something, I don't know.
Oh. Okay. Pipe our circles, or our mounds rather. Pressing them in. So by the way, how I got these green, because I could not find them in green locally, is I bought white. Guys, please. Okay, and sprinkles everywhere. Okay. I bought them in white, and then I have gold. Okay, these little vials of powdered coloring. These you can get at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. I don't remember if Walmart has them. And so I took the white, I put them in the little container, I put a little bit of the green powder in there, and then I just shook it up. And that's how I turned them green. Okay, so just gonna keep it on with this. By the way, my broccolis are not totally covered on the back, and that's okay. I mean, this is the side you're gonna see, so. We are actually only putting these on 6 of the cupcakes. So if you don't want to make all 8, you don't have to. I usually make all 8 so that then I can choose my favorites. So remember that this video will continue to live on Facebook. So you can come back and view it anytime you like. You can message me questions. I have more classes coming up. Next week we're going to do Easter cookies with royal icing. If you are local to me, you can order a DIY kit and come pick it up. And then we're also going to do on Friday, we're going to do a cake, a little cake that looks like a garden with a Easter bunny bottom sticking out of the garden because he's digging for carrots. All right, so you can find those things on my website, which is laurasbakingdelights.com, and go to the shop. And that's where you'll find the kits for those. All right. So you've got plenty of green left over and plenty of the green sprinkles left over if you want to make more. Right. Hold on, I want to try and clean up these sprinkles just a little bit. I don't know what spooked me. I want to tell you something from personal experience. If you spill sprinkles on the floor, especially the rolly ones, just get out your old vacuum and use that to sweep them up, because all the Roomba does is push them around. So anyway, okay, so we have our broccoli, we have our pork. Now we need some cupcakes with noodles on them. Okay. So again, you need to, excuse me. Okay, still there? Everything good? All right, clip off a tip. Now I usually just leave these in the container to decorate, okay? You can take them out. I'll take one out and do it that way. But that's my secret to not messing up my decorations, is that I usually decorate them in the container. And then when you put them in the refrigerator, then the frosting will crust over. And then you'll be able to take them out and move them without messing up your decorations. Okay, so this is really fun. You're gonna stay up really high above your cupcake. And you're just gonna let that frosting fall. Because remember, it's supposed to look like noodles. If you put your frosting in the refrigerator last night and it's really hard and stiff, I would just leave it out for a few hours, let it come to room temperature. Or if it's still in the container, you could microwave it for like 5 seconds and give it a stir. Okay, so put our noodles on. Now we're going to just arrange this. If it bothers you that you can see the cupcake through the noodles, you could spread some of the frosting on the top of the cupcake first. And then I need a paper towel. Take one of my broccolis, set that right up on there. Like so. Okay, so that is our lo mein noodle cupcake. All right, so do the rest of those real quick. Broccoli. One year I made these for my husband to take to work. He works at Train. And nobody would touch them. Nobody took any. And he couldn't quite figure out why. And finally he realized they must think it's actual lo mein on a cupcake. So once he told them it was all sugar and candy, then they disappeared quickly. So yes, when I pick up my broccoli, it is leaving frosting on the plate. No big deal. Alrighty. I think that's good for now, because my intent is not for you and I to be at the same pace here. So let's move on to our fried rice cupcakes. Actually, I think I need those. No, not yet. Okay, you need to get out your jelly beans and your little knife again. And you need to cut the jelly bean in half. A couple of you, I think I tried putting the green powder in with the jelly beans to see if it would stick, and it didn't really very well. So if you have green powder in your jelly beans, that's why. Don't worry about it, it's edible. So these are supposed to look like little peas. And the jelly bean flavor, if you're curious, is pear. So in a hands-on class, if I were actually in the same room with you, now is when I would be wandering around watching you work on your lo mein noodle cupcakes and offering you advice on how far away to hold your piping bag or, you know, anything like that. So it's a little different being online, but I think we're doing okay. Okay, now for the carrots, we need our orange fruit chews. You want to cut those into 1/4 inch cubes. So I'm going to cut it lengthwise first, and then like this. You use whatever knife you're comfortable with in your kitchen. Like when I do the rest of these, I think I might switch to a bigger knife just because it's more comfortable for me. Okay, so then I'm just with my hands gonna shape those into vaguely carrot cube looking things. There used to be, Runts used to make candies that looked like peas and carrots. And those were perfect, but I haven't seen those in a really long time. But they were just perfect for this and saved time. Okay. Now, I'm going to take a few of our cupcakes. Oh, wait, I forgot to do the yellow. The yellow is supposed to look like scrambled eggs. If you wanted to do these the same way you did the pork, that would be absolutely fine. Oh, this is making me hungry for Chinese food. You know? And so then you just want to kind of twist them and shape them so they look like little clumps of scrambled egg. Okay? right, the next thing we're gonna need are the green Twizzlers. So you'll do this with all of your yellows and all of your, you know what I mean? All of your fruit juice should be like this, and all of your jelly beans should be cut in half. Okay, we're going to take our fried rice container and your stick, and you want to spread some on top here. If you have a hard time doing this, like the cake pulls apart, if you chill your cupcakes, you know, for a few hours and then take them out of the refrigerator and ice them, it's a lot easier because the cupcake is firmer. I'm going to do all 6 of these right now because you have to have some for the base coat, and then we're going to be warming up the rest of that. How's everyone doing? Okay. I totally skipped this step. How did I wrap this thing? There we go. Connor and Aiden used to get mad at me when I would pack their lunch and wrap things in saran wrap because they couldn't, like, get it open. Okay, you're gonna take your fruit chew, your Twizzler, and you need to cut on the diagonal. These are supposed to simulate celery chunks. Now, take your Rice Krispies and put them in your bowl. This, we're going to go microwave for, we're going to start with 10 seconds, okay? After the 10 seconds, you want to stir it around. What we're trying to get is kind of a whipped cream consistency. There you go. See how that's gotten almost liquidy? Now that goes in with your Rice Krispies. And you just want to get all of the Krispies coated with the frosting. we're going to mix in some of our... Actually, I'm going to mix in all that I cut, and then I'll cut the rest too. So about half of what I gave you should go in with your Rice Krispies. Rice Krispies. And mix those in. All right, let's take a break here and cut up more. Don't cut your fingers. Shape our little carrot pieces. Oh, is Mom watching? Hi, Mom. I see your bubble up in the corner. I think that means you're watching. So, guys, my mom does ceramics, like hand building. And she is going to start teaching online too. So, once she makes that official, I'll be sure to put a link on my page so that you can watch her cool videos too. And my dad teaches photography, in case you're wondering. So we're a bit of a crafty family. Okay. And our eggs. Ooh. I just squish it down to make it a little easier to cut with the scissors. And the peas. That's what I'm missing. So last year when we did this, I was able to order little Chinese food containers to put each cupcake in. And gosh, that was cute. It just looked really nice. But given current world situations, I could not get them here in time to include in the DIY kits. So I'll have to do without. It did not even occur to me to call any of the Chinese restaurants and ask them if I could get them from them. That just occurred to me right now. Okay. So now things get a little messy. Oops, almost set that right down in my cupcake. We can try this with a spoon. We'll see how that goes. But we may end up just doing this with our hands. So you're gonna take that, just put it on the top of your cupcake. I've actually never had celery in my fried rice, I don't think. Have you guys? I just don't remember it. I remember one weird place where they put ground beef in the fried rice. You remember that, Mom? My mom is also a vegetarian, so she was rather put out that they put ground beef in it. All right. I'm sorry I get quiet. I don't know what to continuously chatter about. So, especially since there hasn't been much happening around here lately. I am still taking orders. The 6-inch cake has gotten quite popular because it's perfect size for a family. And you know, just because we're can't have big parties doesn't mean that we should let life's good things pass us by. So celebrate birthdays and, I don't know, make up celebrations. We tend to, if we get bored in this household, like I'll look up and see what celebration is going on in some other part of the world, and I'll learn about it, and I'll try and find out what type of food they eat, and so then we try and you know, we try to make that food and eat that and learn a little bit about the celebration. Okay, so now you have all your rice on your cupcakes, and now you just go in with your other pieces and decorate to your heart's content. So, if you guys have just been watching and not following along, if you want to go ahead and get started, at this point, I will stay here and finish up my cupcakes, and I can answer any questions that you have. Please just type them in, and Connor will let me know what you've asked. Oh, Mom says her ceramics classes start April 13th. So that's very cool. Mom, as soon as you have a link to that, I'll share it so that people can find you. Does anybody else have any home businesses they want to put a plug in for? I certainly don't mind. I know my friend Sue Page, she does Pampered Chef. Who else do I know that does stuff at home? Okay, so that's our fried rice. So I'm going to go back to my lo mein noodles now. piping bag. Alrighty. Our noodles, get our broccoli. So as I'm finishing up here, just a reminder that there are other online classes coming up. Next week we will do royal icing Easter cookies and an Easter bunny cake. If you're local to me, you can order a DIY kit and pick it up on Tuesday. When I get your order confirmation, I will email you my address, okay, or text it to you. And then the week after that, we're gonna do a unicorn cake. Again, there will be a DIY kit for that. And then the week after that is cake pops. Again, with a kit available. Alrighty. I am still taking orders, so if you have birthdays going on in your house that you'd still like a cake for, I can do that. How I work it is you just text me when you get here and I'll bring it out to you. Okay? What else can I tell you about? So guys, you have extra of stuff, right? And your frosting. With your frosting, if you just put it in the refrigerator, it'll be fine. This I would just put in a sealed container. And it should be fine on the counter for a couple days, not too long, but enough time to give you time to make more cupcakes, because clearly we had more stuff than we needed to for the 12 cupcakes. All right? All right, let's go back up here so you can see me and I can see you. All right. I really hope that you enjoyed this of my first official online classes. I've done a lot of tutorials or pre-recorded stuff, but haven't done the entire project in front of you like this before. So I am open to advice and suggestions, okay? I can't think if there's anything else I should tell you about. So just message me if you have questions or leave comments. That's fine too. And I will talk to you later. Alrighty? Bye.